Hello, everyone. Welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Miss Aanchal Saini, who is the founder of Flyrobe, which is India's first and the largest fashion rental company. Hi, Aanchal. Welcome to ELI.
Hi Ranjan, I'm delighted to be here.
Likewise, I would request you to introduce yourself to our audience.
Absolutely. So, Aanchal Saini, I'm the CEO of the company. Uh, so, Flyrobe has been India's first and largest rental company, as you mentioned. We started with a very narrow approach, while thinking of renting Western wear and accessories. And gradually, we developed the business towards, of course, profitability. And the more acceptable product was the occasion wear category in India.
Mhm,
And the way we were doing it earlier, we started completely online, and then we moved to online plus offline. Omni Channel turns out to be the best approach.
mhm.
So that's what we're doing. Very excited about building this space in the country. Sort of, we are not asking people who already rent to come and rent from Flyrobe. So the big agenda is to convert the buyers into renters.
Okay, got you. Uh, so tell us a little bit about what is the problem statement that you are solving through your venture, or in other words, like you said, you are converting buyers into renters. Why is it necessary? What is the an underlying cause? Can you set a context about it?
Absolutely. So, it turns out that the problem that women are usually mocked about, that your closet is full yet you have nothing to wear, is a
Mhm.
genuine problem. And the reason is that everything in the closet has been worn once.
Right,
So they don't want to repeat. And
that's
this
true.
is just one aspect of women. And when you talk about men, men don't want to spend on clothes which they have to just wear one time. You are attending a friend's wedding today, it's your best friend's wedding, it's the mehndi function, it's a day function, and you want to definitely look dapper that day.
Yep.
But investing in a yellow color Indo-Western suit would probably pinch you because you're not never gonna wear it again.
Hmm.
And so that's how rentals come in easy. And how the younger generation thinks, like the millennials, they are very pro to access. So accessing is key and ownership is not. That you would want it to have it, pay for that little bit time that you're using a product, and then give it back.
Hmm.
So this is what the basic fundamental of renting fashion is. But other than that, there are obviously many reasons. Like storage is a hassle.
Hmm.
Our home's already full. We don't want to keep storing things that we don't wear. So I always say, logic is buy the basic and rent the iconic. Buy something like what you and I are wearing today. We keep wearing it
Yep.
multiple times. Buy it, wear it, touches it multiple times. And for the fancy stuff, rent it out. And every time you go out, you wear something new. So you rent out for every occasion, you rent out. And if I talk about the math here, buying one product versus renting 10 products, it's the same math. So
Got you.
instead of buying one expensive outfit, you rent it 10 times and you do 10 functions in the entire year.
Hmm.
Storage is a hassle. Trends are changing. People want to wear the latest. And what would you do with the things that you already have in your closet?
Right.
Environment is a big aspect. People are trying to think about sustainability. Princess of Wales recently, she wore a green dress, and it was on rent, and it was like a big thing on social media that
Hmm.
she's promoting green fashion. So I feel the millennials now, it's not really, it is, of course, saving the buck is also a very important aspect of rental, but it's not just that. So
Hmm.
these are the things that people are moving to rentals.
Got you. Uh, would love to understand what is the logistic that is in play behind making this work. Of course, when you do something online, you have to depend on the courier companies and all. But yeah, giving address to someone, then getting it back. Probably sometimes you get faulty dresses, or there would be wears and tears on that. How do you handle that, and tell us a little bit about it.
Sure, Ranjan. So in our journey, we developed everything from scratch. Unfortunately, there was no precedent to look up to in India. Like, for example, I want to create something related to fashion selling. I would look at Mintra, pick
Mm,
Mintra up, I'll put my brain, add two, three, four, five features more, and build a fantastic website. for us there was nothing to look forward to, like no, sorry, not look forward, to look up to. Like there was nothing that you could, okay, this is what we want to build. There was nothing. We wanted to build something, it was all in our head that we want to build
Hmm.
this. Logistics and operational operations in this rental business is a challenge. It's huge, it's massive, and it's a challenging process, and we took several years to streamline processes, because it is different than selling. You put a price tag on a product, it goes out and you're done. So
Hmm.
here it is like a hotel booking system. One asset is booked by multiple people during different durations, during the entire in the almost in the same season. Day one it goes to one person, day four it comes back from that one person, day seven it goes to another person, day eight it comes back from another person. So it is very challenging. And in that interim period when the product is not rented, that is the time when we do fittings. So fittings are very important, it has to be altered. Like for
Hmm.
men, we have, after years we've developed standard sizes. We do not alter men because men are used to wearing standard sizes, 38, 40, 42, 44, whatever. Women do not, in India women don't have standard sizes. Like if I'm a medium Zara, I can be a medium XYZ, I can be a large XYZ brand. So
Hmm.
there are no standardization of sizes for women yet. Plus, the category that we are working in, ethnic, is very very like, I cannot wear a sloppy blouse and just move around, right? So it has to be fitted. So fitting, alterations, laundry, dry cleaning, logistics, making sure that the product reaches the person in time, because again it's a very time sensitive delivery. It's
Hmm.
not a t-shirt from an online website. It doesn't come today, it comes after 10 days, I'm fine. It's my wedding outfit, doesn't come, it's big. So all of these things, we took several years to sort it out. Then talking about the process of renting. So
Hmm.
currently people, so we were obviously completely an online company, that we were doing online because that is the way to reach the masses. So the way, that is the only way you reach the masses in India. So we started completely online, and slowly steadily we started to build the offline business. Reason being, Indians are still, we still want to touch and feel products,
Hmm.
specifically the category that we are dealing with. I am not renting my bridal lehenga online by just placing one order. It's the entire family event, like, with the bride and the groom. The parents would also come, four of them would come to the store.
Hmm.
But also that gives us the leverage of reaching out to the age group which is higher than our target audience. Like the bride and the groom, the parents come to the Flyrobe store, they also end up renting products.
So, Anchal, like you said, when you started, there was no example to look up to. Just want to understand your hypothesis formation process. Like, why did you start this type of model? What was the research involved? And also sometimes we get passionate about the problems we face in our lives, and sometimes we build a business out of it. So tell us about the initial days of ideation and forming a model around it.
Sure, absolutely. So, for me, I'm a lawyer by profession. I used to actively practice in the Delhi High Court. And for me, I used to look forward to wearing new clothes. And I realized that, it's not just love for clothes, it's just love for new clothes. Because, that dress worn for the first time on Instagram, you don't want to wear it again because, it's done. So that
Mm.
was the problem that I figured out myself. And secondly, I realized that, when you grow up, like, an age bracket when you're working and all, you don't borrow clothes from friends. That's something that you do in college
Yep.
probably. And thirdly, that I realized that when you're working, you want everything to be ready. Like you don't have time. You come
Mm.
back from work and then you want to go to a party, and that time for that 1 hour of looking clothes very frustrating. So
Mm.
what if it comes and it just goes away, and you
Yep.
don't have to clean it, you don't have to take care of it, and that love for the outfit only lasted till the time it was worn for the first time, and then it completely goes away. So these are the problems that I understood. And finally, clothes plus accessories. And I joined hands with my partners, and we realized that doing this basic research, that there are mom and pop stores in India, many of them renting clothes, but the problem was very very unhygienic conditions. Like a normal middle class girl would not walk inside those stores. Unhygienic, the kind of brands and no brands that basically. So we realized that what if we can get a product which is a good brand product and access it in a very less rupees instead of
Mm.
spending on the MRP. So initially this was what we did, and completely Western and accessories was, as I mentioned, was the start for this business. And turns out that Occasion wear category, which is the wedding clothes category, which is something that you wear for photo shoots, etc. This is the heavy product, which is more expensive.
Mhm.
Everybody is not buying a normal party dress, Western dress for 30,000-40,000 rupees in India. They're not doing that.
Mm.
And a black dress is something that people don't mind repeating. But that expensive bridal lehenga is something which you spend a lot of money on, and it turns out to be a waste asset.
Yep.
So we realized that the product category needs to change.
Mm.
That is when we switched to renting ethnics.
Mm.
And for, of course, it was men and women both.
Mm.
And from then, the journey changed, completely changed. That's how we sort of pivoted the product.
Mm. How were the initial days, like once you had the idea right and you had a model around it, how did you go about executing it? Like, did you hire employees, or did you go for company registration, or did you arrange funds? What were the like for first 30 days or first 60 days of your entrepreneurship?
So once we had this idea, we did this basic market research. We realized that internationally this model is big.
Hmm.
There are a lot of companies doing it, and they're successful. They've raised funds, etc. And we were at that age of our career that we had some funds on our own.
Hmm.
Um, so me and my partners, we did not found Flyrobe. We founded this company called Rented Bay, and we bootstrapped, and then we acquired Flyrobe. Flyrobe was the largest player in the space. We were number two in the space, and we happened to acquire Flyrobe in 2019.
Hmm.
So for us, we bootstrapped completely. We bootstrapped for 2 years till the time we opened our first store. After that, we raised investment. So initially, of course, it was all putting in monies together, putting in our own assets and whatever our skills are. Technology was one big skill that we had.
Hmm.
I'm a lawyer by profession, so I obviously understood how to set up companies. A private limited company is very important because ultimate aim was to raise investment, and then we were not looking at profitability at all. That time it was just concept. And when we started, Ranjan, for an order worth 300 rupees, we were spending on the back end 2,700 rupees to service to that order. That's
Hmm.
how we were sort of making our market. Because so any new service that you start, you people need to try it. And how will somebody try it? It has to be sweet in terms of what the offering is. Of course, apart from the main is the product, secondly the pricing. Indians
Hmm.
have to taste that sweet. I don't know if you remember when Uber started in India. When
Yep.
Uber started in India, they used to send a Mercedes to you to
That's true.
travel for like 5 kilometer distance for 50 rupees, 60
Yep.
rupees. That's why the corporate people, all youngsters, started to try an Uber, not because they really needed a cab. They were used to still doing their stuff on rickshaws and whatever private cars. They
Hmm.
wanted to ride the Mercedes. That's how they started.
Hmm.
So, of course, for us, service mattered. So the logic was, let people try rentals. Secondly, give them such a service it doesn't feel like, oh, it's an old cloth that somebody has worn it. It has to be pristine. So for
Hmm.
that one product, our personal delivery person would go to the user's house. Um, he would carry an extra size,
Hmm.
a size up or a size down, whatever. He would wait till she tries that outfit. He would be carrying a portable steam iron. Once
Hmm.
she's done, he would iron the product and hang it right there in her house and then leave. And of course, we made a lot of effort on the packaging. It was very luxurious then. So
Hmm.
this is the way we started to, make people try rentals. And all these users who tried this service like 7 years ago are still our customers.
Hmm.
So
Got you.
this is how we sort of started to work on this. So we realized service and product category was, again, we were trying with a lot of colors because this is something that you can only do and know.
Hmm.
So of course, technology helps you. You know how many people are liking the red dress, how many people are liking the backless outfit or whatever. So we had like a huge variety of clothes, all categories, all segments, and then we, in the first 3 months, we figured out how many clicks and what kind of more inventory we should add, etc. So
Hmm.
the initial couple of years were completely experimenting, and post that we stopped experimenting. We just worked on what our user wanted. Once we had the huge user base, we worked on what the user wanted. We
Hmm.
knew, okay, and also like expansion happened with in terms of that. We were doing Delhi, we had X queries from Mumbai. Okay, let's open gates to Mumbai, and then we feel, okay, fine. Now Bangalore needs this service. We should do that. And as on today, it's completely on the user base. That's how we work. Today, we are at a level that we're doing 30 cities.
Mhm.
We are servicing online to 30 plus cities. We have stores in a few cities, and then we are opening more stores because now the users in XYZ cities, they want a Flyrobe store because they want to transact for a higher value product. They want to do their own wedding shopping, etc. So they want stores. So we, of course, we can come to what we're doing currently after in a bit. So this is how we started, and this is how we sort of pivoted a lot. In terms of initially, of course, funds were a big issue. We bootstrapped, we completely. So there was this time in our career that we had an option of opening a store or
Mhm.
running the online business for the next 6 months.
Okay.
We had money only for 6 months, and then we took that complete bet and we put in all our resources and we opened our store and we thought we should just take the risk. After that, we raised our first round of investment.
Mhm.
And then since then, of course, there is no looking back that we raised an investment round. We happened to acquire Flyro. We turned the business profitable. As on today, it is profitable, which was a heavy burning business. Over years, the investment scenario also has changed in the country.
Mhm.
Very heavy businesses are not accepted. Your basic business should make money, and of course, you need growth capital, etc., etc. So, no, those kind of things, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of profitability, can you tell us a bit about what was the process involved? Like, what were some of the biggest cash burners that you eliminated, and where did you double down?
So, of course, Rajan, for us, initial years, marketing was required. Like about 30, 40 crores have gone into the business just for spreading the word what Flyrobe does. It's a fashion rental company, etc., etc. But that was required then. That
Then.
was the requirement then. And as I mentioned, initially we just wanted people to use the service, no matter on the back end what it costed us, etc. Which we just wanted people to try it for one time.
Mhm.
But of course, when we sort of widened the product categories, so when we moved to occasion wear category, earlier it was westerns, completely company owned western products.
Mhm.
Then it moved to ethnic products and a marketplace model, designer owned marketplace with designers owning the product, and we would work on a rental share basis. And of course, designers would give us like a very limited margin because that time we were just sort of convincing them to put their product on rent, etc., etc.
Mhm.
So ultimately we realized that it has to be a very good mix of company owned products plus a marketplace model. Company owned products, those products which would make money fast, that we recover our monies if fast and then we're able to make profits. Only that kind of category is company owned now. And then slowly gradually we realize that why are we running after designers? We are in India.
Mhm.
Every woman here has her bed box full of clothes,
Yep.
like the ethnic wear category. And what is she doing with it? Nothing. It's in completely NPA.
True.
So what if we sort of get that from her and put it in our business? It'll completely turn around the story. That's what we did. We opened this marketplace model for C2C, customer to customer renting. You rent out your expensive Sabyasachi, your expensive designer lehenga, and you make money. And this also on a rental share basis. Like when something gets on rent, you take some percentage of that. The consumer, for them, this asset was completely zero. So they are not fighting for margins. Whatever they get, they're fine. In India, there is no way of selling that ethnic product. Secondhand selling of ethnic garments doesn't happen. So this
Mhm.
market was huge, and we thought we should need to bite this share. We started, and there was no dirt. Our acceptance rate is 7%. 100 people want to give their products, we just accept 7 because obviously for us it needs to make
Yep.
business sense.
Yeah.
Uh, till till COVID happened, before COVID, people were giving us products. There was no dirt in quantities, but the newness was missing. I think a wee bit. Like people would give products which was at least 1 year to 3 years old, like
Mhm.
minimum a year. I've kept that for 1 year, and now I realize ek saal ho gaya, I haven't worn it. It should go out.
Mhm.
But post COVID, like today, we are getting products as new as 4 days old, also as new as I have unfortunately bought a lehenga because my mother-in-law insisted. My wedding is in February 14th. Please come and take this on February 16th. Like future bookings. So
Mhm.
this game has completely changed. So which means there is no problem in newness and trends. So we are getting as new as such products. So because of COVID, as in financially, people do not want to lose any chance of making money.
Mm,
Secondly, we all have spent a lot of time in our homes. We want to just make sure that we don't keep storing unnecessary things. So these two aspects have, and also there is, I think, the sustainability narrative has sort of widened a bit because of COVID, and people sort of care a bit, we bit more than what they used to.
mm,
So all these aspects uh, really changed for us completely.
gotcha.
So and this, of course, when you talk about, so for us, as a business, putting your equity money in buying inventory is not a very wise, it's not a wise decision. Equity money is used to grow the business, and usually, if you are a very inventory heavy business, you sort of take debt on that. You
Okay.
you take debt and then you buy the inventory. So,
Mm-hmm.
but for us, when the marketplace model has happened now, and I think we are in a very very sweet spot now because we don't spend the kind of money that we inventory money is something which churns out very fast, and
Mm-hmm.
otherwise it's no spend. It's a marketplace model. So this changed, and of course this changed the profitability. It all of those things, plus the stores added to the profitability. So
Mm,
online business is still a burning business because of a lot of marketing spend that is required. Once you start a new city, you have to really spend a lot of money to reach out to every new user, etc., acquisition, etc. But stores are profitable. Another thing, can you go on a little on this question?
yep, absolutely.
Okay. So another thing that we realized that for us, the store P&L, really matters.
Mm,
It has to make money. Why? Because the larger the store is, uh, so one, it cannot be a very small store because variety is important.
okay.
See, a person is not going to come and choose a bridal lehenga out of 10 lehengas. No, she
Mm,
wants like some pieces. So the size has to be decent. We don't need like a mammoth store, but like a 2,000 square feet area, 1,500, 2,000 is a sweet spot for us. Secondly, we realized that the store needs to churn money faster. Like a larger store will take like about 2 years to break even, but it has to be faster because we wanted to move to a franchise model.
mm-hmm.
Because for us as a company, we are able to get assets which nobody else can. The C2C model works only with the company. Like as individual store owners, you can't get C2C products.
Yep.
So we need people in different cities to open stores for us. And because the local element is very important, we as a parent company, of course, we provide the inventory, we provide our existing user base of that city to the franchise owner.
Mm-hmm.
So the P&L needs to work. So we realized that for us, 70% of our users, they discover us online and then they visit the store.
Okay.
So it's not like okay, dukaan ka naam dekha aur andar chalega. It doesn't work like that. Organic footfall is there but less.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need a bank huge store on the ground floor. We are good with a large space on the first or second floor in a good market. And when you talk about rentals, they're like less than half. Like if it's a 4 lakh rupee rent on the ground floor, the second floor is 1 lakh rupees. So we realized this is what we need to do, and this turned the story around. First store, the first franchise store was in Bangalore in 2020 beginning. We opened our first store in Bangalore, franchise store. Same math, second floor, large space, worked pretty well. So
Mm-hmm.
these are the things that we sort of started, did, and it turned around the story in terms of profitability.
Got you. I just have one or two more questions left. Tell us, what is the meaning of entrepreneurship for you? How would you define the term entrepreneur?
Uh, when I sort of started this, and I used to hear people saying, never give up, never give up. I said, fine, yeah, that's something that you can never give up. But never give up really has a large meaning. Mane, you need to not give up in those situations where you think this is the end of the world. You need to move out of the business and do nothing else. Like COVID was one peak situation when, that was the first time, Ranjan, when I was uncertain about my business, the initial months. Okay, I think weddings are not going to happen. As a company, we have never been without revenues. When we acquired Flyrobe, the business grew 10x. Like from a small, like not, I would say the middle-sized business to a large business. We were working on everyday revenues. We were trying to get profitability. And when COVID happened, I was also a little, I didn't, for a few days, I wouldn't lie, it was a very tough situation. Uh, but when they say never give up, it really means something.
Hmm.
Within that lockdown period, about 100 people contacted me all over the country, of course, that I am getting married. Can you get us one outfit? Can you just make sure that one outfit reaches us? We
Mm.
did open, we tried, we didn't do 100 brides. We did about 70 people. We dressed 70 people during complete lockdowns. We said, let's open warehouses. People need us. We should do it. We are not a necessity service, but you think we are a necessity service. If you're
Mm.
allowing weddings, you have to allow the outfit also.
Yep.
So, so the logic of never giving up, it really, really has a lot of meaning to it, which I understood when I was in that completely low situation that, this is the thing. And plus, I feel, entrepreneurship is not a one man show, it is the entire team.
Mm.
People stuck with me, like my team, my core team. They did every possible thing that we did to survive those times. And I can never, it was just like, it wasn't like employee relationship then. It was just like this thick bond that, we have to manage. I'll make sure your houses are running. You have to make sure that we don't die. And we did a lot of layoffs. We did everything. Most of the businesses like our competitors died that time because they couldn't survive COVID, the scale, they couldn't do that. So I really feel these two things, that your entire core team, it's not just a lone business. You have to make sure that the people with you stay with you, and you train them well, and then you let them be. So there are things that I'm not the decision maker every time. This person is so good at this, he's going to decide what happens next in his own department. So give them that respect, privilege, the respect that, okay, this is your baby, now you need to decide what to do with your department.
Mm-hmm.
So I really feel these two things really matter a lot in this space.
Got you. My last question. What would you say is the biggest lesson that you have learned throughout your entrepreneurial journey that any other entrepreneur can take away and probably apply to their venture?
There are no shortcuts, no shortcuts at all. The things this happens with me always. I put these things on a sideline. Okay, fine. I don't think I should deal with them. I have to ultimately deal with them, and there is no way that you can't, you can't ignore things and not do them well, or the sideline. Okay, fine. I'll leave this. That doesn't happen. Anything, everything that you leave or you think, okay, fine, I'll just run away from this. It'll come on your face
Mm.
very soon. So better to handle everything while you're moving this path of business and your journey. So I really feel that.
Gotcha. Awesome. So, on this note, I think we will close the session. Thanks, Anchal, for joining us. And it was a
Thanks for
pleasure to have you on our show.
speaking with you.